Channel 10 Nelson, your community access television. Programming on this channel is made by local volunteers. If you would like to be a part of your community television, please call 354-4200 or write to Shaw Cable, 613 Ward Street, Nelson, B1L1T2.
Welcome to Shaw Cable's production this evening. This evening starts a series of 3 programs co-produced by Shaw Cable and School District Number 7 on the schools of School District Number 7, particularly the elementary schools. And this evening I'm going to be talking to 5 schools, and they've all done videos of their schools, and we're going to take a look at the videos and some of the things that it took to make these. My name's Art Maxwell. I'm substituting tonight for George Miller, who will finish this series. And the first school that we have is A.I. Collinson, and across from me is the teacher-sponsored Mr. John Schnarr. And on the couch, Miss Sarah Taves, who is the director of the production, and Mr. Derek Kanakin, who is the co-director. John, first of all, I'll ask you, what started this this whole project? It's quite a large project for a group of kids to do.
Well, Helene McGall of School District Number 7 basically came to each of the administrators of each of the schools a couple months ago with a proposal. We then had a meeting with potential teacher sponsors about I guess 7 or 8 weeks ago, and basically reached agreement that we wanted to use it as a learning activity. They were going to be student productions, not teacher-made productions, but student productions, so they would learn more about how to use video and the whole planning process and production process and putting together a video production.
Derek, what was it like to make the video? What stands out in your mind?
Well, it was fun, really. All the camera work and setting up a lot of the things that we did, and really the most exciting thing was just coming in here and editing it out and finally hoping to see the final draft or copy.
Sarah, was there any unusual things that happened? Did it all run the way everybody thought it was, or?
No, like sometimes like we cut it too early and then it just cut off people, and we thought we had run it later, but we hadn't.
Mm-hmm. What was the most difficult thing that you're looking back on it now?
Well, it was difficult to try to get it down to 5 minutes because we had so many good things that we just couldn't. We didn't want to part with lots of things.
Right. Mm-hmm. And Derek, before we went on air, we got talking. How many minutes of tape did you actually take?
About 2 hours. And really, when we had to come in here and edit it all down, it was really hard to come down from 2 hours to just like 5 minutes.
And I understand, Sarah, that you had to cut out some pretty important people in your whole...
Mm-hmm.
Who were some of the people that had to be cut?
Well, most of the grade 3s, and my sister was there, and she got really mad at me.
Oh. Well, you see, you're the director, so you had to make the decision along with everybody else, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
I understand your principal didn't make the final cut either, Derek. Is this true?
Yeah, the principal The principal didn't make it. A lot of our video had a lot of funny parts in it, and really the interview with him was really boring, and we had to cut out a lot of the teachers too.
And some of our student interviews were fairly serious too. We found it was hard to get. We found it was much more easy to get natural things happening in humorous situations than it was in serious. People seemed quite stiff in a lot of the interviews.
Yeah.
Did you find, Sarah, that people were natural until they got in front of the camera and then they got very almost robot-like? Did you find that the people do that?
Well, with like a few of us were doing a couple things, and we kind of just acted sort of normal, but we made mistakes, and then we had to do it over and over again.
Okay. Derek, and I'm going to ask all schools this next question tonight. What makes your school special? If you had to sell your school, what makes AI Collinson special?
I think it's the size of the school. Like, there's not many students, and so the teachers and the students sort of get along really well, and you sort of know all the teachers, and the teachers sort of know all the students. They know everybody really well. It's sort of like almost like a big family.
Okay. And Sarah, would you do this? Would you do a tape like this again? Was it just about enough to get you going again, or would you like a rest for a while?
Well, I think it would be fun to do it again because it was really fun doing it. But I wouldn't want to do it right away. But I would want to do it maybe in a few months.
I'd like to thank all you people, and now let's take a look at the video that was presented by Sarah Taves and Derek Kanakin, and their teacher sponsor, Mr. John Schnarr from AI Collinson.
I'm Sarah. I'm Elizabeth Alcala. I'm Damien Nisbet.
I'm Franny Mascarbono.
I'm Derek Knacken. I'm Simon Lynch.
We would like to introduce you to our school, A.A. Collinson.
A. Collinson School is like from Nelson.
You may have never noticed it because it is tucked away in a park-like setting near Duhamel Creek.
We have about 166 students from kindergarten to grade 6.
This school was built in the late 1960s, but this year we have a lot of new construction. We hope you will enjoy this 5-minute video, which will tell you about some things happening here at A.I. Collinson.
School by bus. A few kids come to school in my car.
Hi. Hi.
Bye, honey. Have a good day.
Hi, Mom. Bye. Kelly. Hi. Bye. Bye. Hi. 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 Let's go, Dad. Now.
Okay, we'll see you, Jesse.
Bye-bye.
Make sure you eat your lunch.
Bye, Dad. Bye, Dad. See you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye. Bye, Daddy. Bye, Daddy.
This year's construction has brought a lot of new changes.
A new gym expansion
2 new classrooms, a learning assistance room.
and more offices.
This has been a year of construction at A.I. Collinson. There's a new dike back there. There's addition to the gym over there. An enlarged field all around. 2 new classrooms and a learning assistance room, plus renovations to the staff room and an enlarged office.
This year, our grade 1 class is doing highly advanced mathematics. Take a look at this problem. Does anybody in this class know know the answer to this problem? Chris.
X equals the square root of 51.
That's right.
There's a rumor that kindergartens have turned into musical dinosaurs. Let's go take a look.
Dicky Dicky dinosaur's a friend of mine. Dicky Dicky dinosaur spikes on her spine. Dicky Dicky dinosaur loves to roar, but really she's gentle, herbivore. Ready, fight, yes! Run, roar, fight, yes! Run, roar!
Welcome to A.I. Collinson School, the little school with the big wall. Actually, the wall is here for in case of flooding from Duhamel Creek.
You might not know this, but A.I. Collinson has a great sports program. It includes volleyball and basketball, track and field, and cross-country running. We have won the Terry Fox Run for the last 3 years now, and here's the flag.
This year, as part of our environmental project, the grade 6 class has built this compost bin. Every day after lunch, each class brings down their compost and puts it in here.
Here at A.I. Collinson, we have a lot of special programs. Just this year, we've had a band, a puppet show, a play, a choir, and today we're going to have a show from Spokane called Up the River and Down the Creek with Lewis and Clark.
Always a busy place, especially this afternoon where we have a gymnastics display going on.
Well, that was A.I. Collinson, and now the next guests in the studio are from Blewett Elementary School, and across from me is the teacher sponsor, Mr. Terry Marshall. On the Chesterfield, Jeff Ryden, the technical director. Next to him, Nadine Witt, who was the director, and Danny Graves, who ran the camera. Jeff, I'll ask you first. You were the technical director. What were some of the things that your job included? Now, was it your job to make sure that the machinery ran, or
sometimes.
Sometimes?
Yeah.
Okay. What was it like to make the video, Jeff? I mean, what's the thing that stood out in your mind the most? What was the most fun?
To get to use the camera.
Yeah. It's a little harder than you thought it was, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. Nadine, you were the director. What were some of the things that you did in your job?
Well, I had to mainly just show our cameraman, Danny, like where and how I wanted the shots done and how I wanted them set.
Okay.
Like if I wanted the pan of the school done like this and then back again, or if I just wanted one side like that. I had to show them what I wanted and stuff like that.
And there's quite a bit to being a director, isn't there?
Yeah, it's
There's
hard
a lot.
work.
Yes, it is. And Danny, you were on the camera. Had you ever worked a video camera before?
No, it was a brand new experience for me. It's rather interesting.
Yeah. Now, what were some of the things that stands out in your mind about making this whole thing?
The editing, that was interesting when we came in to edit the video. That was very interesting.
Your video is about 9.5 minutes long. And how many minutes did you take to make the whole thing?
About over an hour and
Over
a
an
half,
hour.
yeah.
So did you come in to do the editing too, Jeff, on this on the tape? Did you come into the studio to help cut it down to the 9.5 minutes? Okay. And you did too, Nadine?
Oh yes, we all did.
Right. Terry, what was your job in this whole thing? I know you're the teacher sponsor, but just coordinating things and keeping the...
Yes. With Mr. King, the grade 6 teacher, we chose these 3 students who are some of our best grade 6 students. We felt they would do a fine job for us, and we're very proud of the job they did.
Right.
I helped Nadine set up the actual scripting of it, what we wanted to include. I gave the kids some direction, but I think they really, took the ball and ran with it. They did a great job.
Nadine, how long did this whole thing take? When did you start?
We started about a week or 2 after we were told we had to start planning it.
And how many months ago was that?
I'm not quite sure.
Before spring break, Danny?
We started shooting it after.
After spring break.
Just started it.
Okay. So the planning was probably one of the longest parts, was it, Jeff?
Yeah.
What were some of the difficulties that you found as technical director, Jeff? Do you remember any of the things that you thought would be harder than it really was? Or harder than you figured on? Do you remember any of the real hard stuff? Did anything ever break, or did you drop anything or any of that?
No.
So your job was actually not too bad. What about your job as director? Nadine, was there anything that was a little more difficult than you figured it might be?
Well, not really. It's just getting them to take the shots that I wanted them. It's kind of hard because they didn't know exactly what I was meaning in my words.
And what you sometimes see in your mind doesn't come out the same way on the screen, does it?
Yeah.
Danny, as the cameraman, what were some of the things, difficult things that you came across? Did you ever leave the lens cap in the camera or any things like that? You didn't?
Nothing like that. But sometimes when I taped some real good performances and things, I couldn't find it when I was looking back, and I thought, oh, I hope I got that on tape.
Right. Okay. I'm going to ask your school too, and I'll get you to answer this, Danny. What makes your school special? If you were trying to get me to come to your school, what makes it special from other schools?
That it's a community school. Like, everybody in the school knows everybody, and we know a lot of people, and we have a lot of volunteer helpers and stuff like that.
Okay.
Got a lot of people.
Okay, I'd come to your school for that. Let's take a look now at the Blewett Elementary tape on their school, and I'll ask you some questions, and we'll do some commentary as we go along.
Well, this is our pan of the school.
A place to learn and grow, is that the motto of your school?
Well, it's sort of something we thought of because that's what the school is mainly about.
This is just the opening hallway, is it? And,
yes. That's all of our stuff. That's Cynthia. That's Dave.
Play?
I can't get out of here.
Dave, your maintenance man?
Yeah. He's the chair. That's Mrs. Corner with the grades 1, 2, and 3 practicing for the play. Shazwell.
was a big success at Capitol Theatre.
Okay.
It involved about 2 months' work, and so several of our sequences are the rehearsals for that play.
It's Mrs. Armstrong. She's our grade 3 teacher.
That is Mrs. Goldsmith, the peer helping teacher.
A lot of people involved in this play, I guess, eh? A lot of teachers and students.
Yeah. They're making posters right now. That is Jude, the helper in the school.
You're so cute. What does PM stand for? Peer helper. Oh, peer helper.
Here we are. This is the grade 5s. They were working on a project for social studies. They were doing a unit on communications, and they had to do a live news broadcast. I helped them work with the cameras, like I taught the cameramen how to use it and things like that, all the features.
That's a good idea.
Well, we think our mom and dad have a right to their opinion. But how do you feel?
Now, what are those animals? Looks like dinosaurs almost. Are they dinosaurs?
Yeah, interviewing dinosaurs.
The news story was Dinosaurs Take Over Nelson.
Oh, I see, okay.
But I like school. Well, I hate school. Well, I like school. Well, there's the news. A
This is
different
grade
point of view.
5.
Good afternoon. This is Phil Blaptalk of CBC News. A week ago, there was an Alaskan oil spill. 100,000 gallons of oil was spilled. We believe the driver was drunk at the time of the collision with the iceberg. Here's Bill Bad to interview.
Now, who's this?
Mr.
That's
Gulf, were you drunk when you boarded the
Who are
ship?
these people?
These are grade 5
How many
students.
beer did they have?
They had to, as part of the project, they had to fulfill the roles that you'd see in a newscast. So we had a TV announcer and a reporter, a person being interviewed, and a cameraman.
Where did you get your beer?
Very happy that Danny learned about the camera because he was able to show all the student groups the workings of the camera.
Thank you. That's all the questions I want to ask you, Mr. Gulf.
Good. I ain't very good under pressure.
Back to you, Phil.
This is Bill Blaptalk of CBC News again. Good night.
Nice mustache. They got the mustache.
This is our chase scene for Police Charlotte 12. Wilbur's free. Wilbur's the boy with the brownish hair. Many hours and just the chase scene alone.
You don't want people bumping into one another on stage, do you? Too much.
We were kind of going for that because when somebody hits, like they go, they just bounce back and
That's very good.
it's our spiders for the play. In the end, Charlotte's win. Charlotte's children. Those two took a lot of work to work together.
Sure everybody's in the right place.
The production involved every student in the school.
How many students involved?
About 135. Kindergarten to grade 6.
Okay, you gotta come back to your circle.
That's Amy Claire. She's our dance choreographer.
Okay.
There's Miss Griezmann, who played
Turn into smoked bacon and ham.
I recognize that person.
Smoked bacon and
They're
ham.
practicing in the
Pork
kindergarten room.
Sausage.
The kindergarten teacher is Mrs. Dorfler.
All the young pigs
So you were in the play too, Nadine, were you?
I can't be quiet.
Okay.
I can't be quiet.
There's
I don't wanna
Justin
be killed.
Williams as Wilbur and Christy
Okay,
Clayton
then run up
as
to her.
Charlotte practicing for the
Try
play.
it again. I can't be quiet.
I can't be quiet. I don't want to be killed.
There was actually about 2 months of practices for the main
You're the one
characters.
to kill me when the cold weather
It
comes.
showed.
Oh, yes.
Well, we all
Professional.
can sit around the fire
It's
for
all
a
over in
long
an hour.
time.
That's
There's been many
right. Magic of
spring
theater.
That's right.
come and go.
Yeah.
If she says they plan to kill you, I'm sure it's true. It's also a dirty trick.
We ask you
What people
also,
don't think of.
Danny, this was the handheld.
Grade 6 classroom.
drill in which the whole school participated in. Well, the grades 4 to 6 participated in going for 8 weeks every Monday. And we had an hour of ski lessons, and then the rest of the day was spent on free time just skiing.
Probably the only school in British Columbia that has a ski hill on your back door, eh? It's pretty nice. There's one day the weather was perfect.
Some days were
I know you know the English words, which go like this. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Okay, so we're going to try singing it. Let's sing one verse in English and then we'll sing it in French. And in French it goes like this. Si tu as le goût de vivre. Can you say that for me? Si tu as le goût de vivre. Frappe les mains. That means clap your hands. And the club, the music club is going to sing for you and with you, okay? So let's give it a try. Okay, one verse in English, okay? If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, if you're happy and you know it, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Hallelujah, fever, clap your hands. Hallelujah, fever, clap your hands. See to hallelujah, fever, see to hallelujah, fever, see to hallelujah, fever, clap your hands. And I'd like you to welcome Mr. Ray Buell and the Salmo Band. All right.
Every single day. He likes all the kids here. And the principal.
Except if you run down the hall, he pecks it. Yeah, I know. He does.
Because I trained him.
Good. The next school on tonight's program is Brent Kennedy from South Slocan, and I have across from me their teacher sponsor Dan Wack, and on the couch are three young ladies, Asacia Biln, Jody Tomlin, and Michelle Bonji. Michelle, I'll start with you. You ran the camera and were the director. What are some of the things that stood out in your mind when you went into this? What did you learn from this whole thing?
Well, how to use the camera.
Had you ever used a camera before?
No.
So you realized very quickly how complicated they were. And did you carry the camera around, or did you have it on a tripod?
I carried it around.
And that's very hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Asacia, what was your job in this whole thing?
We all had the same job. We were directors or cameramen or sounds. We all had the same thing pretty well.
And so you would just take the camera sometimes and...
we switched off after
Switched
a while.
off, okay. Jody, you were the same thing? You were a cameraman and a director. When you guys were all the directors, you had to sit down and you had to decide on what shots to take and what you were going to take. Was there ever any arguments?
Not really.
No? Because Mr. Wack was there to intercede, was he? Or just... what are some of the difficult things
Seisha, that stood out in your mind? The things that were a little bit harder than you probably realized when you first started?
Probably getting the people to actually, well, people change on the like when they look at a camera, so trying to catch people off guard so they're not changing for the camera, so they're just being themselves.
Michelle, did you find that people would freeze up and become very robot-like when they were on camera?
Yeah, they try to show off sometimes.
Yes. Yeah. Or you couldn't get them to do anything, right?
Stand still.
How much film did you actually run? I think we mentioned off camera it was close to an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And you had to edit that down to how long? How long is the video we're going to see tonight?
5 minutes.
5-minute video. And so you all came in here and used the Shaw Cable Studios to edit this thing.
Yeah.
What did you learn about editing, Seisha?
Well, how difficult and how long it takes. We were here for about an hour and a half, and it took a long time, and you had to be really patient to do it, because you just got to sit there and say what to take off.
Michelle, when did you start this project?
Oh, about a month ago.
A month ago. So was there planning done? Like, how long did it take you to shoot this? Did you shoot it in a week, or?
No, we shot it like a couple days, in a month, and then.
So most of it, a big part of the project was planning, was it? As far as doing this whole thing. Okay, your question now, and I'll get Jody. You answer this for me. What is the thing that makes your school outstanding?
I think it's that all the students will get together and really work at something like environmental or any certain topic, and everybody just gets together and works on it really well.
Okay. And once again, we'd like to thank you people for coming and giving us your time. And Dan, I know it was a lot of work from teacher-sponsor point of view too, but probably well worth it.
It was really well worth it, yes. That was a great project.
And before we get into to seeing the video, I'm going to give these young ladies a Shaw Cable pin. Girls, if you'd, there you go.
Thank you.
And I give one to Seisha.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's take a look at the video from Brent Kennedy in South Spokane.
Brent Kennedy Elementary School. Brent Kennedy is a rural school located in Snowglen Valley, just off the Nelson-Castlegar Junction. One of the unique features of the school is the large outside play area of about 10 acres. There is a lot of level ground, good slopes, and beautiful forested area. About 247 students from kindergarten to grade 6 come to the school every day. 15 different teachers teach here. Inside, the school is a symmetrical design. There are 2 main hallways that join into another. Like this. Here our computer lab is shared with the Russian classroom.
You're doing numbers, right? Space.
This library is in the center of the building.
Go right to the door.
On the other side of the library now, we see the office area. This is a typical classroom, very brightly decorated. One of our favorite activities each month is recognizing successful problem solvers.
Clint? Matthew?
We might also take time out to play a good game of basketball. Cooperation is an important aspect of this school, even in some of the games we play.
Each year after the Christmas break, all the students load up 4 times and participate in special winter activities. skating, and bowling. Each winter, we also spend an afternoon using all the snow to do some serious and creative sculpturing. Everyone pitches in. Teamwork is very important. Results can be a turtle, a snowmobile,
Okay, there.
a perfect snowman, a monster, and a truck. For the last 10 years, this school has its own cross-country ski program in which every student participates. We are able to use our own ski trails in this schoolyard. Our winter phys ed classes turn into cross-country ski activities.
This year we have studied a great deal about our environment. Here's a study about energy uses taking place.
Sunlight, solar, manpower.
Here a group is fixing things to recycle and reuse instead of throwing away. This group is doing a lesson on global warming, also known as the greenhouse effect.
Does that look good?
Singing about the environment is important to us too. A grade 6 music activity. Sounds great. Leaving home after a full day, most students take a bus. Time to say goodbye. We hope you've enjoyed our tour of Brent Kennedy.
I'd like to welcome Central Elementary and their teacher sponsor, John Paul Garreau, and on the Chesterfield, in the middle, Mr. Chris Moisey, on the right, Ms. Jennifer Cox, and on the far left, Mr. Brian Sawyer, the director. Chris, I'll ask you first, what were some of the things that, that you learned being on the camera?
Well, I'd say the hardest part about being on the camera was packing all the stuff around.
Had you ever worked a video camera before?
Yeah, I filmed a play before, like, that a school put on.
But this was a little bit different because you had to carry all this equipment and set it up. Did you have it on a tripod or was it handheld?
Well, we had the tripod most of the time, but like sometimes we wanted to have portable, so we just held it manual.
Okay. Jennifer, you were the sound director, and what other jobs did you have in this thing?
I came to edit it, and I also did the timing.
Okay. What are some of the difficult things that you found doing this whole thing?
Putting it all together was the main thing.
And you have to bring it down to how long is your video?
Around a little over 5 minutes.
And you took how much tape to get 5 minutes of film?
Around an hour and 10 minutes.
Brian, what was your job as director? What did you have to do?
Oh, I told them what to film and where to film and to roll and to cut and who to film.
So did you have to go around the school and in the school area and say, okay, this is what I'd like to do and this is what we'd like to do?
No,
and
we wrote it down before on a piece of paper and we just randomly picked what we wanted to do.
So the hard part wasn't necessarily filming, the hard part was organizing the filming and what you're going to see?
Yeah.
Did it sometimes turn out a little bit different on film than you had it in your mind?
Yeah.
Did you have to do some of the stuff over again?
No, not much.
What stands out in your mind? What was the best thing about this whole thing?
Me?
Yeah, I'll ask you.
It was probably the learning experience, because we learned quite a bit from it.
Okay. Jean-Paul, what was your job in this whole thing?
Just to make sure they got it done. I didn't do very much. I helped them organize and helped get the materials to them when they needed certain materials. And that was about it. Encouragement.
You gave us a few suggestions.
Good suggestions, I guess. Though.
Yeah.
Good. Brian, when did you start this? How long have you been doing this tape?
We started about pretty close to the end of March.
Okay. And Chris, how long did the actual taping itself take? Did you do it in a week or 2 days? Or what?
I think it was the actual taping. Well, we had it spread out over quite a wide time span, and we did it mostly. We did most of the taping in the last, I'd say 4 or 5 days, but we did like other random stuff throughout the first few weeks.
Okay. Jennifer, what makes your school special?
I think it's the heritage and our principal, Mr. Costain.
You mean he's heritage, is he, or the school's heritage?
He's different.
No, he'll appreciate that.
He's got quite a sense of humor.
Yes, I know he sure does. Brian, would you do one of these again?
Yeah.
And how about you, Chris?
Probably, but I'd try and organize it a little better.
You can always learn from the first time and get a little bit of it. You appreciate a little bit when you see all this on TV, some of the hard work that goes on behind the scenes, eh?
You don't really think of how much trouble it is until you actually do it.
That's right. Well, we'd like to thank you all very much for coming, and we're going to take a look at your tape in just a second here. But before we do, I'd like to give you all a Shaw Cable pin. Compliments of Shaw Cable.
Thank you very much.
Okay. And
Thanks.
report. Okay, so once again, thank you very much, and let's take a look at the Central Elementary video of their school.
Hi, welcome to Central School. I've been asked to talk to you about the history of Central School. Central School began in 1892. In fact, in 1992, it's going to be 100 years old. This photo here shows Central School before 1908. This building here was the first building that was built, and then this portion was added on. Then later years, I think around, I'm just guessing around 1905, this part back here was added. Then because there were so many students in Nelson that they decided that they should build a larger school. And so they decided through the city government to build this magnificent school called Central Elementary School. They started construction on this in 1908 and it was finished in 1909. The gymnasium was on the top floor and so was the stage. So when they had Christmas concerts, they were done on the top floor of this building. The reason for the number of chimneys is because it was heated through coal furnaces. So they had to have several furnaces in order to heat the building that was this large. When I came to the school in 1957, it looked the same except the chimneys were gone. They had gone to heating the school through natural gas. Also, they had changed the school quite a bit so that it looks the way it does now. They had removed the top floor and demolished part of the back of the building and had added on a new gymnasium.
Just go around the class, Lucy. Go around. You stick your egg in the color that you like. If that one's already taken, you're going to have to wait until he's finished if you want blue. And then, Dustin, I'm going to leave, and every now and then I want you to leave it sit.
We'll add the first 8, and then we'll add the second 8.
Accomplish that and go on to social studies. Don't make boys now. You're going to make these pictures here.
Amanda, number 11. What are you doing, people? My book says 4 6 add 1 6.
And they found, well, lots of plastic in its stomach. Plastic? Ew! This is a dirty egg. Oh, poor thing. Ha ha ha! Give me it on the phone! Dude! Oh, please. Let's go somewhere. One still on the
Our last school on this first program is Gordon Sargent, and the teacher sponsor is Jeanette Gritani across from me. The announcer for this thing is Irina Gritani on the Chesterfield. On the far left is Nicola Zeben, the cameraman and writer, and Rebecca Gladman, who's one of the announcers. Irina, I'll ask you first, how did you get, what types of things, how did you come up with the ideas of writing this thing? Who gave you all these ideas? Did you do it yourself?
Yeah, we spent a bit of time when we knew we were going to be doing the video. We spent a bit of time making the script, and then we got taught how to use the camera.
Okay. Rebecca, as announcer, what are some of the things that you like doing with this whole thing? Was there anything that was kind of difficult that you didn't think would be that difficult?
Well, learning the words was kind of difficult because you had to memorize them when it was time.
Okay. Nicholas, had you ever run a camera before?
No.
No? What are some of the things that were a little tough about running a camera?
Well, figuring out which buttons to push and that sort of thing.
Okay. Did you have the camera on a tripod, or did you have to carry it around?
Tripod.
Tripod, so that was a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to hold it on your shoulder and do things is kind of tough,
well,
isn't it?
It's a big camera.
Yeah, right. So it's gets kind of heavy after a while. Irina, what are some of the things that stand out in your mind about making this whole thing? What did you like the best?
Trying to remember the lines.
Trying to remember the lines. Were there any funny things that happened when you were trying to remember the lines?
Katie kept forgetting her lines at the beginning.
Katie was also involved with the video, but she's out of town right now, so she couldn't be with us tonight.
And what's Katie's last name?
Adio.
Adio, okay. And Jeanette, what was your job with this whole project?
Well, basically, I just helped them pull it together. One of the nice things about Gordon Sargent School is that there's a lot of parent involvement, and so I offered to help out with the video. They knew they needed some help, and the teachers were real busy. Right. So I worked with the kids and helped them set up the shots, and yeah, I guess I just was there for them. You know.
So who was the director of this whole thing? Were you all directors?
Yeah.
Were you?
Yeah. Yes.
So you all had to decide on what the best shots were going to be and the angles and stuff?
Yeah, she helped us mostly.
Yeah.
She was pretty much the director.
Nicholas, did you ever take a shot that you thought would look one way and it turned out to look the other way?
Yeah.
And to do it over again?
Yeah.
Take two? Huh?
Well,
Yeah,
our
we got
first scene was really bad.
We got to take 4.
Gotta take 4. I've taken a lot more than those sometimes on here, so sometimes you take 10. Irina, I'm going to ask you, what makes your school special?
That it's small. We get to move around a lot.
Okay. Is there anything else?
I don't know.
Nicholas, is your school open area?
Yeah.
So that's a little bit different, isn't it?
What about centers?
We get to do centers almost every day.
Right. And
we get to choose, like, there's art and computers and library.
Learning centers. Are they, would you call them learning centers, or?
Well, a few of them are.
Right. And do you know how much tape you took, Nicholas? How much tape did you take? Was it over an hour to get all this stuff going?
Yeah.
No. 45 minutes.
45 minutes? And how long is your video?
8 minutes.
8 minutes. So that's you had to cut that down, and Rebecca, you came in, and everybody came in and edited this thing in here?
Katie was away.
Oh, I see. So was it kind of neat to work with all this machinery in here, was it?
Yes.
Okay, now we're going to take a look at your video, and before we do that, I'd like to give you people a Shaw Cable pin. There's one for you, for Rebecca, and one for Nicholas.
Thank you.
What about me?
And we'd like to, we're running out. And we'd like to thank you very much for coming. It's a lot of hard work, and I know we'll see a good video here, so thank you very much.
It was a wonderful experience, I think, for the kids.
I'm sure it was. Okay, let's take a look at Gordon Sargent and their video of their school.
about our school. I'm going to introduce you to the teachers of Gordon Sargent School. Do you like being a teacher?
Yes, I do, Rita.
What are the kids doing?
Right now, the boys and girls are silent reading, and I'm having an interview with Rachel to see how many books she's been reading and to have her share a book that she has read with me. Bye.
If I'm not on TV. This is math class. Oh, there's a Snoop Dogg. Mrs. Neufeld is our math teacher. Do you like teaching math?
Yeah, I love teaching.
Oh, Mrs. Barger.
Hi, I'm fine. How are you?
Good. What's your class doing?
Well, we've just finished writing our stories for this morning, and we're sharing them. And today we're talking about something very special in our stories, right? Who would like to tell what we're doing today? Okay, Jillian, what are we doing?
Well, we're making stories with the middle, the beginning, the middle, and the end. This is the kindergarten room, and this is Mrs. Reed, the kindergarten teacher. Hi, Mrs. Reed. Can you tell us what the kids are doing?
This is our morning circle, and we've just finished taking attendance and doing our calendar, and now we're having sharing time. And we're about 3/4 of the way around the circle, and Jennifer is just sharing some special things that she brought this morning.
I brought a Minnie Mouse paper that I got from Julian Presley, a marshmallow, and a marble.
Why are those good sharing items for you? Right, and this is our M week. What does M say?
Okay. We care about each other. This is the fish project. We have raised these fish from green eggs, the fingerlings and elephant now. We will release these fish in June. We have only had a few dead eggs. Out in the wild, not many fish yet survive. We care about learning. We care about writing. We write and publish stories. We will show you the faces of writing. This is drafting. This is conferencing. This is author's circle.
All right. Patricia, would you read your story, please?
The Haunted Hotel.
Nice and loud, please.
Once there was a haunted hotel. Nobody dared to go in.
All right. Does anybody have any suggestions for what might make her story better? Bea, what suggestion do you have? Nice and loud.
That she should maybe use some more powerful words.
That she could go back and add some powerful words to her story.
Here we are in our class. This is Bart. This is some of the art that the children have done through the school year. When what is your costume today?
Well, this is a grade 1 class, and we're doing today. And we started off with a drama game. We've had 2, and we've passed it around, and these guys are making us tube into all kinds of wonderful things. So let's go and see what they make of it. Jill, what is it?
Is it a telephone? Oh, I know.
Interesting. Neat.
Oh, a teaching thing.
And the first one is a farmer, boys and girls. Go. Freeze.
This is P, and we care about having fun. Now you've seen it. Gordon Sargent School, a school that cares. We're all one family under one sky, family under one sky. We're all one family under one sky, family under one sky. Well, we're people, we're animals, we're flowers, we're flies. Well, we're people, we're animals, we're flowers, we're birds and flies. We're all one family under one sky, family under one sky. We're all one family under one sky, family under one sky.
That's our show for this evening. We hope you've enjoyed it and have learned a little bit about the 5 schools that we've had on this evening. And for the next 2 programs, the next couple of weeks, we'll hopefully have 10 or more other schools here from Nelson. And until next week, on behalf of Shaw Cable and School District Number 7, my name's Art Maxwell. Good evening.
Hi, Priscilla here once again. And this week on my show, Nelson Tonight on Shaw Cable 10, I've got something else really exciting that's going to happen. And like really funny too. I think it's really funny. Like at least we all laugh like our guts out here in the studio. Anyway, like another episode with like pearls of wisdom from the East. Like, you know, if you got any problems or anything like that, like we can solve them for you, I'm sure. And lots of other like really, really funny stuff. And like all with people that you probably know right here in Nelson, or they might even live right here in your very own neighborhood. Stay tuned.